Welcome to Nickel City X-Wing. I'm Greg, and today we have an exclusive interview with Aaron P. of the Ontario Online Open or Triple Zero Tournament. How's it going, Aaron?
Great. How you doing, Greg?
Oh, just wonderful. Peachy keen. Woke up to an alert on my phone about the GSP Rome Space Jam at 4 a.m. That was
Ooh.
delightful.
Oh, so you're playing in that?
No, I was just, my phone was like, oh, it's live on Twitch. And I was like, I was sleeping, phone. I was sleeping.
Yeah.
How's
Yeah.
it going, man? So like this Ontario Online Open, it's a tabletop tournament. How'd the idea come about? What led to the genesis of this?
I was sitting around. I had registered for the Jank Tank Open, which was awesome, and thought, wow, that's really the right thing to do to get things going during this disaster, to get people playing X-Wing again. And I thought, okay, well, then the first Space Jam came along, and I was like, well, I'd like to play in that, but there's no way I can play on TTS. I was new to TTS at the time, during that time frame. So what am I going to do? So out of a selfish need to get myself some X-wing, I bullied the other members of the squad into helping me put this together, and they did most of the work. And so, we had to hit a few things that we wanted to do. We wanted to have enough time for people with variable schedules, especially when this whole thing began. People were not all that flexible in terms of their time. Some people are working jobs that have to be done that are more or less essential, have kids, and had to juggle all that while trying to find time for online gaming. And we also, wanted it for the people who sit around and have nothing to do, who are temporarily unemployed, poor people. That's some of the constraints we had for the format. And so we decided on 4 weeks. That may have been a bit too long, actually. It seems like a lot of people have gotten their games in. Well, to be honest, we've got 135 out of projected 240 games down so far. Today will be the halfway point, which is about right, since it's about 2 weeks in. So I guess that was correct after all.
Yeah, it seems like you guys nailed that. Actually, it's 15 above half, so you're a little ahead of schedule, right where you probably want to be.
Yes, that's good. We decided that we couldn't just do a straight extended tournament. One of the things that concern me, is people want to play fun stuff. I find a lot of people want to play stuff that they have fun with and not just aim at, crushing whatever's in the meta. So I wanted a tournament that would pitch to those people as well. So we set things up as a reverse hangar bay, right? So instead of the usual hangar bay, where you choose which of your two lists you play, your opponent picks for you. So something about this, which is interesting, is you've got to think about what your opponent is going to choose. And if you give them an obvious choice, like one terrible list and one, net list meta thing, then they're probably going to choose the terrible list. But if you want to play interesting stuff, you can pitch two sort of mid-tier type lists at them and see what happens. So it's an interesting kind of strategic choice, which I really like. I'm not a big fan of usual hangar bay because people do exactly what you expect them to do. They go, will I play my 8 vultures or will I play my, you know, mid-range rebel list? They play their 8 vultures.
Or
But
eight
here,
cartel spacers.
there are 8 cartel spacers. Yes, that is a piece of awesomeness. So yeah, we decided on this format since whenever you're looking to have some straight fun with X-Wing, I think you got to mess with the meta a little bit. Um, the extended format is cool and everything, but best left for the big tournaments.
Yeah, I think
Well,
what I've noticed
mhm.
from people's lists so far, just in the few games I've covered, is there's usually like one more meta list and then one really fun list, and we're always getting the fun list.
Yeah, it's happening often. I mean, inevitably there are a couple of people, who like their couple of medalists, but it's been great so far. I mean, I've had some great games. And I love these games where you're both playing stuff which is in that mid tier, and like every move counts and every die roll counts, where it's just so close. The Jank Tank Open is a great demonstration of this phenomenon as well. Like, it's just, those are bad lists most of the time, but every damn move counts. You've got to decide what you're going to do with your I1 striker and where to put it in order to achieve maximum effect. You don't have, double reposition. You got, well, I guess you do have double reposition with striker. Bad example. You get the idea.
Well, let me tell you a Jank Tank story. I crushed my first round opponent, 200 to nothing. Destroyed them. It was some dude named Bai. Don't know him. Won that match easily. Second round, ended up flying my Reaper off the board.
Oh, yeah.
Lost it in like 4 rounds. It was so bad.
Yeah, you gotta watch those Reapers. They're like really, really big folk on elastics. They just, there it goes. Bye.
Let me tell you, Captain Pharaoh, not meta, also not fun.
I don't know. I disagree. I'm a big fan of the Reaper. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, so I mean, that was pretty much the deal. We wanted to hit cool format, flexibility in the schedule, and make it fun. We ended up charging $10 just so we could get some prizes. We would have charged nothing if we could.
Prize support is always nice to have. It gives the sense of stakes without it being like so serious,
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other funny thing too is everybody in the organizers crew, Brendan, Gus, Tim, Devin, and Evan, they're all Vassal players, and we did a poll to see on Ontario, Star Wars Gaming Ontario, what people would like as a format, and the majority answered TTS. So I think, at least in North America, at least in our area of North America, TTS has won the psychological warfare against Vassal, because we had to go ahead and make it a TTS tournament instead.
I think Vassal is great for like doing X's and O's when you're trying to figure stuff out. But if you want the play experience, I don't think it comes close to tabletop. I really don't.
I like them both, and I hate them both when I can't remember the hotkey, and I'm like, where's the stupid hotkey? Oh my God, you accidentally deleted your Koshka. Let's spend 5 minutes finding her. So I think they're great for free stuff, and I when people complain about them, I'm just like, whatever, free.
Yeah, for free, there's like no better system for free. Like,
yeah,
I
mean, they're both. To be serious, they're both really good. They're so well run by members of the community, and what else can we ask for?
Right, and they're the bastion holding the game up right now. Right? Yeah. So it's the Ontario Online Open. Obviously, there's players from outside of Ontario. We have a couple from our group in Buffalo, which, to be fair, is very close to Ontario. I'm about 10 minutes from the border.
Right. Well, we love you guys, and we're glad to have you. I'm looking forward to playing Reese later on today. He's a great guy.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Are you guys more Toronto-based? Are you Southern Ontario? Thunder Bay? I don't know where that is. I think it's Northern.
So it's funny, I only moved to Ontario a little while ago. I used to live more easterly in Canada, and so that sort of sense that you might have, or other Americans might have, where you've got like these bunch of places with a bunch of names, I still have that. I'm actually not good at the geography of Ontario. But to answer your question, there's a lot of us from Toronto, from the Prototype Toronto League. There's a lot of us from Grand River X-Wing, which is in the Grand River area. We've got Ewok Squadron. We've got a couple people from Black Fly Squadron from Muskoka. Oh, geez. I always forget some because there's so many, it's obvious. Oh, we've got Bytown Smugglers from Ottawa. We've got a couple people from Quebec. I don't know which squadrons they rep because there's like...
That's not Ontario.
Well, no, there's 4,000 different squadrons in Quebec. It's a thing, and they're always like blending together and splitting apart. We're very happy to have some Quebec players. There's lots of talent there. Great people.
Quebecois.
Yeah. Well, I lived in Quebec for years.
I've always wanted to go to Montreal. Like, this has nothing to do with the interview. This is me just saying as a person that like that is on one of my destination lists. I've heard it's awesome.
Dude, it's a fantastic place. If you're young enough to, still drink without caution, it's a fabulous place to be. When you reach my age and you can't do that anymore, well, it's still all right. It's still cool. I guess there's X-Wing there.
So the tournament, how have you found that the tournament has kind of brought your community closer together? Because since we've started streaming, I think our community has, like, we have a group chat now, and like I feel like we're on a Discord together. I feel like we're a little closer. Have you noticed that with your group as well?
Yeah, I mean it's pulled people back in from their disparate orbits when the whole self quarantining thing hit, the whole self isolation thing hit. People were pretty bummed. We have a really strong group in Toronto that we do our own league games. That's why we're called the Prototype Toronto League. And we've played that for, I don't know, I can't even count the number of seasons. I think it's 14 now.
Wow.
And so we've been playing since, like, I don't know, 2004 or something. And we've had pretty good levels of participation in that for a long time, but people did get bummed and drift away. And some people who are inclined to do stuff online have definitely been drawn back in by the 000. I mean, there's some people who just aren't down with doing stuff in front of computers, and I get that. I mean, I miss the tabletop so much.
Definitely.
Especially these first few weeks of flying on TTS, where I'd go, oh yeah, that 3-turn's gonna fit fine, and then I'm halfway through the asteroid, and I'm like, what? I was way off. Oh, on one occasion, I was like, oh, I'm sure that's in target lock range, and I was off by 2 range bands, not just one, but 2 range bands. That was pretty incredible.
I have more trouble on Vassal with the range stuff. Like I'm a little better on TTS. Not great, mind you. Not great, yeah. But a little better on TTS. But man, it does take some getting used to. I can't tell you how many 3-turns I've made away from bombs where I'm like, oh, this gets me out of it. And it does not get me out of it.
Yeah, bombs are nasty that way. They're always crawling up your butt. So hey man, I wanted to say hello to you. I've really enjoyed the coverage from Nickel City. I've started watching some of your own league games because they're fun to watch. Lots of really interesting matchups. Also, I want to give a shout out to Garg.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. Thank you for taking the time to do the interview with us. Letting us know about the tournament. Is there maybe plans for a future tournament after this or anything like that?
Not at this time, but that's definitely something we should think about as the summer rolls on. I mean, one of the things we're seeing online is we're seeing a lot of different groups put up their own league structures and stuff. So there's we might be hitting a saturation point with that online. I don't know. We'll look at it and figure it out. We'd like to, is what I'll say.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to your match later today.
All right. Cheers, Greg.
Cheers.